Is that a loaded question? I mean, how political do we want to get in here? Hello, and welcome back to another episode of W
D.
for T. I'm Wessex.
I'm Derek Toro, your resident Tokyo Drag Kings.
Woo!
Today we're gonna answer like the most asked questions on Google about drag kings.
Yes. All right, Google, what do you have for us?
Okay, so I put in like what do drag kings and then it autocompletes something. So first is what do drag kings do?
Everything. Drag kings do it all.
A lot of people still know drag kings as the one who are in the drag races, like with actual cars on the street somewhere. But here, in our case, in our cause, drag kings are. I don't like saying it's like the manly version of drag queens. Taking queens out of the equation, we could just say like we're drag performers who focuses on the performance of masculine stereotypes
Yeah.
or of masculinity in general. So the kings focus more on being manly rather than being womanly.
I think that drag king is typically masculine focused. It also tries to show that sometimes that oversaturation of masculinity can be a little toxic. So it's also kind of a way for society to look into the mirror and see, what's working, what's not working. How can we better ourselves for humanity? Not to say that we're just such great advocates for the world, but
Sometimes we just do it for fun.
yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it's just for shits and giggles and to clip tassels to your.
Tits. Where do you clip it tassels?
I was trying to think of like the suit, the bodysuit, but I mean they were clipped to my tits. Just there was a bodysuit over the tits. So
Your manly tits.
my man tits.
Your man tits.
My flattened tits that were still really far away from my body.
Yeah, so drag kings, we exist.
We exist and we do things.
Moving on.
Google number 2.
What do drag kings wear?
Assless chaps. So many cheeks and stuffed dicks are out, Gotta accentuate the package.
Your Amazon package.
Exactly, the Amazon package.
What do drag kings wear? I guess we wear costume.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Miss Michelle Visage doesn't want costumes to look like costumey, but we do wear costumes.
I mean, for all sakes and purposes, it is a performance and a drag performance at that. So, in my mind, things need to be a little more eccentric or eye-catching, theatrical. So, although they're not going to be like, costumey in the sense that maybe they mean cheap by that,
Maybe.
but I mean, as long as it is shiny, it's usually fine.
What do drag kings wear? You wear something that like is part of the performance. What?
I mean, I would hope
You
so.
wear something, okay? You wear something. I mean, if the question is about like what do you wear to make you look more masculine, then I could ponder more on that.
Yeah, I mean, let's do that because obviously we're wearing a costume for our performance, but what do we wear to make ourselves more masculine? So, for example, there are bodysuits that you can buy that can flatten out certain aspects.
And also like so that you can show this whole front area.
Yeah, because for some reason, certain people are allowed to show their nipples and others aren't, and that's kind of rude behavior. But that being said, you can also buy a type of binder or tape.
Yeah, what I do is I tape. Because binder, like it flattens, but it's still like the most of the mass is still in the center. So what tucking does is separate the mass. And you tuck it somewhere where there's more space in the side.
Right, just under the pits. Yeah. I feel like I hugged you once and I like pinched your tit. That was over here.
Oh yeah, all my tape was like, stop, you're not that elastic. And then I guess on the down there region, like
The dick is what they
they
mean.
put something in.
Yeah, I mean, they have silicone molds that are called peckers that you can get.
Oh, I thought it was Packers.
Packers, that's the one. Don't ignore what I'm saying.
Like, oh,
It's
like,
Packer. Packer is
wait,
exactly what I
why
said.
not the Pecker? Like,
I mean, a pecker is also a word for dick, so maybe that's why I got confused. But packer is the proper term for the silicone mold that you can buy with like associated undergarments,
Yeah.
and then it gives the illusion of having a penis.
Yeah.
And also, you can use socks.
I'm very particular which socks you
Mhm.
use. Like, don't you use lumpy socks, basically.
I use Family Mart's finest.
I mean, like, you can use just like shape it in a way that is not lumpy.
Maybe I want a weird tentacle penis. Maybe that's the vibe I'm going
Yeah,
for.
well, I mean, I guess it
I
depends
want
also on the
an
particular
ethereal,
performance you want.
like,
Also, like, I guess I would like to mention putting on like some girdle kind of thing where it squashes your hips, basically.
I don't have hips as a human, so I've never had that problem. But like what I say is that like I'm very rectangular, but my front and back are very 3D.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, but the front profile is very rectangle.
The
So
X and Y axis.
exactly. Like whatever my sine and cosine, whatever the geometry, math, algebra, I feel all of that, unfortunately. And that's why I think for me, I like to wear a lot of baggy stuff because I can get away with hiding a lot of big old ditties in there with just a big, billowy shirt and billowy pants hides the ass. So that's what works for me.
Oh, and
Unless
I
I'm
guess
wearing-
like I saw somewhere like a cosplayer actually it's a great tip, but like they put on like shoulder pads.
Yeah, shoulder pads are also very good. They help masculinize the shoulders, make you more square. Yeah, because you can tell like even though I'm wearing this, like my shoulders really like dainty shoulders. Need to get back into getting that swole shoulders.
I have like a broader shoulder than women.
You do have a nice angle to your shoulders, so Officer Daddy.
Need to eat less donuts.
Impossible. I would never.
I don't know what this question is about, but what do drag kings look like? Do you want to take a stab at this?
I mean, I think drag kings tried to adhere to a certain maybe chiseled look. So whatever that encompasses, maybe they want their jawbones more, angular or more crisp. Like usually it's thicker eyebrows and a like predominant forehead brow. But along those lines, I've seen drag kings do an array of, makeup styles or facial hair, no facial hair, colorful or not colorful. So I think the main thing for drag kings is that they have the chiseled jawline, the brow,
And sparkles. They have.
and of course sparkles, because at the end of the day, we are gay, So I mean, a lot of people are queer at least, So
Yeah, I mean, what do drag kings look like? Very like there's such a such a vast amount of what the hell?
All right, Schwarzenegger. All right.
It's like, of course, there's gonna be a lot of ways like drag kings look like, as much as there are men to emulate. So I guess it also just depends on the performance. But I think a lot of it is like just exaggerating those masculine figures. So if you can imagine that, very masculinized theater makeup and then costume.
Yeah, and plus, like, I think it also is dependent on the performer because, some drag kings have a very specific look. Like, I think that you have a very specific look, you usually keep the same makeup and contour and everything for every persona you do. And then, like, for me, although I am relatively basic today, I do a lot of colorful makeups. I do a lot of, like, I would say, like, not traditional makeup styles or more on the borderline of, like, costume, drag and just a lot of crazy colors sometimes. So, but I do try to keep those like basic like cheekbones, eyebrow, like eyes as well, like the nose kind of like crisp and sharp as well. So, those are things I try to like implement even when my drag might be more on the like fantasy style. So, because I have been the Lorax from
Oh yeah.
Dr. Seuss,
Yeah.
so it was fun making that a drag king character. So
Yeah, I guess talking about men it just doesn't need to be just human men.
yeah.
Characters, manly characters,
Mhm.
male characters.
Right. So, and I assumed the Lorax was a man because there was a mustache, but I could have been misguided.
We'll
So
never know.
we'll never know.
But at least that's your interpretation of
Exactly.
it, and that's yours, and
Exactly.
no one can take that away
Exactly.
from you. Okay, next one. Damn. Okay, now you can recognize my face. What's happening?
They're like, not to police officers. Cops can't get in here.
Oh, this is interesting. Okay, why are drag kings less popular, or why are drag kings not as popular?
Isn't that a loaded question? I mean, how political do we want to get in here?
Go for it.
I mean, unfortunately, I think that drag kings are less popular because of the patriarchy and a little bit of misogyny. Like, I think that men as a whole, not necessarily saying all men, but
As a
like
system,
as a
basically.
system, as a patriarchal system, does not like when there is fun poked at them or eccentricities in place, saying that maybe these behaviors or systems are flawed. So I think that is something that is only recently started to have some light shed on it, inappropriate amounts to the public eye, unfortunately. But with that being said, once there is someone to see that they're doing it, that does give inspiration to others. So I think there will be a surgence of drag kings within the coming years, with more drag kings being on social medias and on performing on those shows, like the one you mentioned, the Drag King show.
Oh, Kings of Drag. Yeah,
Kings of Drag.
There you go. Yeah.
And because everyone always needs, someone to walk the path for them before they feel that they can walk the path as well. And it is a scary thing to do, to poke at the system that is the whole of the world for the most part right now. So, but it is a fun and important thing to do artistically, in my opinion. So,
As a human.
as a human,
Humanities.
humanity, yeah.
For me, I think kings are less popular because of the fact that like drag kings are taking masculinity and taking it away from men. That's how the patriarchy keeps its power. Is that like if you have a certain group of people with this certain types of characteristics in power versus the other, then that's how they keep their power. And if you take those characteristics from them, then they lose their power. Which is also why toxic masculinity is not just bad for women, but also for men, because you associate everything with that identity when it's all just a performance. Like, you are not less you if you are not less into sports.
Right?
And
You are
so-
not less of a person if you are feeling, emotional in a sense or like different things than what you're supposed to. So.
And it also like goes to say the same about women who are more masculine, and that they're not less women because they're more masculine. Because these are all just performances. You can leave this performance at the door, basically. For example, for me, I perform more feminine when I'm in the toilet for my safety, because I don't want like security guards coming in there checking if I'm a woman or a man, because I have some masculine traits. Like, that's an example of performance, because I can perform to be feminine, but I don't choose to. Just in that part where I need to do it to feel safe.
Yeah, and that is really the crux of societies right now, is that they're not letting people, live comfortably in whatever version of themselves they want to. And I have had this conversation with more conservative members of my family, being like, what does it matter to you if this person is living authentically in a dignified, consensual, and kindness to the extent they are able to lifestyle. Like, what does it matter to you where they go to the bathroom? What does it matter to you what they do? Like,
What
it's
they
not
wear.
what they wear. It's not your life. It doesn't matter. Like, you have other things you could worry about. There are 1,000 other things besides someone else's life. Like, that's a little gossipy and drama-y, if you ask me. So, as someone who has always been told, like, I'm too masculine for being an AFAB person, I really enjoy being like, oh, I'm still going to do what I want to do, and identify as I want to identify, because you're not going to put a label on me because it's not accurate. Even when I try to be feminine in like the terms,
It's acting.
it's acting, and then they always say it's not good enough, and I'm like, I'm not acting good enough.
Last one. What gender are drag kings?
Whatever gender they identify as, So I think an easier way to put it is that similar to how there are cis female drag queens, there are, cis male drag queens, there are transgender drag queens. There can be the same for drag kings. It really does not matter how you identify because it is in the performance. Just similar as, there have been actors throughout time and history that have played characters who they don't necessarily identify as intrinsically as themselves, but for the performance, they perform as that character. I think it truly doesn't matter what the gender is. It just matters that you are pouring your heart into an art form that you enjoy. So.
There you go. Education.
Yeah, so it's very educating this episode, and we hope you enjoyed it. And as always,
And if you have more questions, just feel free to
leave a comment, leave a little heart and a like, and subscribe. And we'll catch you in the next episode of W40. Cheers! We did it right this time! Yes, finally!
Drink, hydrate.
I know, mine's been empty for like 30 minutes.
It's always after.
I know. What I'm doing.
We're still learning this man way, okay?
It is hard to man it up all the time. It is a performance after all.